You know, the cast on my leg is kind of hard. I should probably break it now.
What's up, dudes? My name's Avery. You can call me Mochi. My hair's wet. I'm in my pajamas. I just got out of the shower. It's late. I should be in bed. But I have a moral obligation to tell you about Dystopia Rising. Before we get started, I do have a couple of things to say. The first is that I said I was gonna do this giveaway thing like a while ago, and the deadline for that is like past. So stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm gonna pick the winner of the Stall Guild leather cuffs, and it's gonna be great. Just a quick note, I'm not actually sponsored by Stall Guild, I just thought their stuff looked really cool and I wanted to share with you guys. Yeah. Second of all is I started a coffee. It's one of those. Anyway, it's a thing where for like the cost of a cup of coffee, you can actually help me get to crazy adventures like this one and film it for you guys so that I can keep putting out content like this. I don't expect a whole lot of traffic because I'm like a small bean YouTuber, but hey, if that's a thing you feel like you want to do, go have at it. Maybe share it on Facebook if you can. I would really appreciate it. Love you guys. Thanks a bunch. Lastly, I would like to let everybody watching this video know that normally I don't post videos with swearing because I want to give you guys good content without worrying what your parents think of me. That being said, this video does contain in-game footage of the apocalypse, and I can't control what wild, free, adult, roving zombie hunters say. So, I apologize, but there is some swearing in this video, and now I guess I have to get the words together to talk about this thing that I just loved, and I can't even find the words about it. You see what I mean? I can't even find the words to talk about it with the people who went there with me, so just bear with me. So this past weekend, well, it's not gonna be this past weekend by the time the video gets out, but you know what I mean. I went to Dystopia Rising, Virginia, which is a post-apocalyptic LARP that has branches all over North America. If you want some looks at other chapters that have happened, LARP Girl has a video on the Pennsyltucky one, which is shut down, but still, look at it. It's good stuff. LARPgasm also has one on the chapter that replaced it, which is Erie. Actually, we met some people from Erie in this video, so hi Max, 412 Steel City Crew, hooah! The basic story of Dystopia Rising. Alright, now I'm gonna turn to my handy dandy phone script because I can't remember what I'm supposed to be saying. At least 4 generations ago, maybe more, we don't know, the infection first broke out. It's a fungus, it's in your blood, it's a thing. So the dead started rising from their graves and attacking the living, and I mean, that's how all zombie LARPs start, right? I don't know a single one that doesn't. So the disease started spreading like way too fast, and humanity decided that the best answer was nuclear bombs, and needless to say, that did not work out in their favor. The zombies survived, and humanity became so irradiated that you didn't even have humans anymore. You had things like rovers, and Yorkers, and retrogrades, and Baywalkers, and all sorts of other fun things, but they're definitely not humans. Yorkers. It would take me a whole video to explain all of the different strains in this game, and maybe I'll make it if you guys want it, but that is not this video. Let me just get to the story. So Eden, which is also called the Holy City, is a settlement just outside of Richie'sboro, which is formerly Richmond. And it's basically a place where the religions of the world thrive. So much so that regardless of whether or not they're religious, new players are called pilgrims. So these are some of the lovely people that came with me and their characters. Alright, tell me your out-of-play name.
Drake Cunningham. My out-of-play name is Stacy.
Okay, hi. I am Avery's roommate.
Woo! My out-of-play name is Avery, but you can call me Mochi. What is your character's name?
Crutchy. My in-play name is Specs.
My character's name is Brianna May Carroll, but nobody knows that because I only introduced myself by Brianna.
In character, my name is Cassie Fowler.
In a few words, Specs is basically a hot-headed dad with a gun.
Tired and trying to keep everybody out of trouble.
He's just a kid with a crutch trying to survive.
Small, innocent little bean. Tell me your character's backstory.
Like the whole thing?
Oh dear, this is gonna take a little bit.
Brianna grew up in a settlement of Baywalkers, a few days walk out of Eden. Growing up in the apocalypse, it was scary, but she's still a functional human being. She ended up getting married to one of her childhood best friends about 8 years ago, and they had a couple of kids. About a month before game, they ended up getting killed. She somehow survived, and she's not been quite the same since. So she came to Eden to get away from all the memories.
He lived with his mom and his dad, but his dad was a drunk alcoholic kind of a guy.
Wow, a drunk alcoholic, really?
He was very abusive, and so one day Crutchy's mom left. And his dad kind of blamed him for that and took it out on him. And one day, his dad picked him up by the leg and was screaming in his face. and he decided it would be a good idea to spit in his dad's face. It's just kind of a little, screw you, Pops. So his dad snapped his leg at the knee, and it's been busted ever since. He could never get it fixed. He ended up finding some diesel jocks that were, for some reason, willing to take him up to Old York, because that's where his mom was from, and that's what she always used to talk about. At least that's all he can remember her talking about. He was tiny when she left. He made his way up to Old York, and he met this really old guy who went by Old Guy. And he basically taught Crutchy the way to survive. And he gave him a crutch, and he started calling him Crutchy, and so that's what the kid goes by now. Old Guy got killed in a big fight that was happening, and he yelled at Crutchy to hide, so he did. Afterwards, he ended up finding Old Guy, and he got back to him, and he was dying. He was laying on the ground, and he was actively dying, and so he's not sure what to do. He talks to this man, and he says, look, you gotta go to Eden. I hear there's a safe place there, and they'll take care of you, but you have to go. I won't be able to go with you, but you have to go. He gave Crutchy his real name, the only person he ever shared it with, and then he died. And so Crutchy had to make his way to Eden all by himself. It took him a while, but he did. And that's when he finally made his way to a place where he felt safe for a second.
And then the zombies attack. No, I'm kidding.
Mom, shot, dead. When he was like 7, so his dad and him moved to good old York. They was Jay chillin'. Age 14, they got run out of town. Dad got shot a few times, but he didn't die until Specs turned 15 shortly afterwards. But Specs wakes up, Dad's getting all munched on by some Lascarians. Next thing you know, he woke up again, hanging upside down from a tree. Why? Because they're all like, we can't have witnesses. And then I cut myself down and got myself free. Basically, I dedicated my life to being a gunslinger after an old dude named Reed taught me everything he knew. Got married, had a kid, wife died at childbirth, kid died a couple years later, and then I just been Jay chillin' since.
So Cassie's backstory really isn't all that, like, I mean, you go into a zombie LARP, you expect, like, tragic backstory. That's not Cassie. Basically, her family ran a way station about a day's walk from Eden, because they're rovers, and that's a thing that rovers do. They're the traders and dudes of the world. And yeah, she actually doesn't know how to fight. Her dad and 3 older brothers all did the bulk of the fighting, so whenever Zed would come around, they would just kind of shove her behind a bush and tell her to hide until it was all over. And basically, 2 days before Game On started, what had happened was they were helping out some people, some diesel jocks that had lost their ride, and they came to this way station for help, but one of them was a scion. So yeah, scions have this weird connection to the grave mine, which means that, like, Zed follow them like flies to honey. Is that the phrase?
I think so.
Okay. So yeah, they have this scion with them, which means there's a huge group of Zed and Raiders on their tail. And basically, Cassie's dad shoved her out the door with a backpack and said, run! Go to Eden, we'll meet you there in 3 days. And she was like, yes sir! And so that's how it goes. When Game On started, it had been 2 days since Cassie's dad had made her that promise.
What were you expecting when you walked into Dystopia Rising?
I did not know what to expect. That's what I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect.
Alright, cool.
I was expecting to have fun. I wasn't expecting how much fun I'd have.
I was expecting just, you know, a LARP. Just kind of like the ones I'd already been to, but post-apocalyptic, you know what I mean? I expected to have a good time.
Okay, let me preface this. I had never been to a LARP before.
So this was your first LARP?
It was my first LARP indeed. Quite frankly, by the fact that I was willing to go, I expected a bunch of people like me who are just weird nerds that put on outfits and look ridiculous. Because I looked kind of ridiculous. But I got there with my little group of friends, and the first thing that happened was we actually ran into a couple of the marshals that work there. We were like, hey, is this where Dystopia Rising is? And they were immediately so friendly. They helped us, they told us what to do, where to go, they led us along the path, and they just made sure we got where we needed to go safely. And throughout the weekend, both in play and out of play, I think I met some of the most genuine people that I ever have, and it was incredible. I was expecting what you'd see on the internet, just a bunch of nerdy people like, Magic Missile! It wasn't that, it was a bunch of people who were there to do something that they cared about that, like, brought them together. And also, everything was really, really intense. Always, and it was awesome.
This world is full of nerds. It's okay to be a nerd.
What else do you want me to say? It was great! And now, as per tradition with my LARP videos, I am going to tell you the story of the April trade in Eden, Dystopia Rising. Here we go. I'm gonna talk a lot. So I walk into town with this guy named Specs who found me on the road, like, scared the crap out of me because I thought he was a zombie, and then he comes up and I'm like, oh, it's a Yorker. And so we just decided to walk to Eden together because, I mean, I didn't have any protection, so maybe, you know, that's how it works. So yeah, we went to Eden, we met up with a bunch of other pilgrims, and there was this one dude there, a Yorker with a bum leg named Crutchy, and he just kind of took a shining to Specs, and hence took a shining to me. Because I'm like, I don't know anybody except Specs, I gotta stick with them like glue, you know what I mean? So we form our little group, we start to apocalypse together. We get rooms at Eden's hospital with a group called the Fallow Hopes, and basically their thing is they're a militant organization committed to destroying the infection one Zed at a time until they finally destroy the Gravemind.
Brianna, say hi to the camera.
Yeah, I just figured.
Specs YouTube.
Hey, what's up? I just figured you look close to me.
Crutchy, show me your sandwich. What is on that?
Peanut butter, jelly, provolone, and ham.
My lord.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
What in the world? Like, actually, what in the world?
Why would you eat that?
You know, I also can't believe I did. I can't believe I
How is it?
Weird, but it's not bad, right?
I can't believe I licked that shit. During the,
Basically, there was this chick there, Minister General Gemma. Minister General means she is the highest ranking member of the Cult of the Fallow Hopes, but she's not from Eden, she's actually from Erie. So, she is not our Minister General, but she is a Minister General. Does that make sense? That's okay, I'm moving on anyway, I don't care. Who took us in and basically, like, made sure we didn't die the entire weekend, made sure, like, we had in-game what we needed and things like that. So Friday night, we mostly spent just kind of walking around, learning about everything. Not a whole lot happened to us. There were a couple... Was that an ascension that happened?
Yes.
Yeah, Sucra ascended. I guess that's a Nation of Exensor thing. And we fought a few Zed, we learned about the religions, we basically walked around with Minister General Gemma and this other dude from the cult named Scrimshaw. We learned a bunch. I asked a bunch of people if they knew the last name Fowler. It was great. And then Saturday things, like, story-worthy things happened. So, Specs, Crutchy, and I all got up pretty early to see if we could find any scrounge. We didn't find anything, but we figured out that at 10 o'clock that morning there was going to be a meeting of all of the rovers in Eden, and I play a rover, so I was like, oh, okay, I should probably go to this thing. And so Crutchy and Specs came along as guards, but they weren't allowed to sit in, but the head of this meeting was a dude named Twitch, and Twitch is a pretty cool guy. I like Twitch a lot. So I go to this meeting and I meet all of these rovers, a couple of which are new, a couple of which have been there, and let me tell you something, I learned something. It says in the rule book that rovers are serious about, like, their deals and things like that. I wasn't aware just how serious rovers were about their deals. Like, they're crazy, alright? Like, you had people at this meeting being like, hey, so this thing happened and I made a deal with somebody and then they broke it? What should I, like, well, that's a thing that happened, and, like, everybody was like, you know what, you come talk to us and we can take care of this. And I was just kind of like, oh. Basically, I ask everybody if they know the name Fowler and if they find anybody to send them to me. And Twitch is like, hey, basically, hey, Newbubs, if anybody ever breaks a promise with you, you come talk to me and we'll sort it out, if you know what I mean. And we adjourned the meeting. So we get back to town and there's a turtle. Just a turtle in the middle of the road. And I'm just kind of watching this turtle, just enamored by this turtle. It didn't use any effects on me, I just really wanted to see what this turtle was doing. But it turns out this turtle was, like, leading us to scrounge cards. So Crutchy and I get down on the ground, and this chick named Becca, who is a remnant, she was also scrounging, and we were all like, oh, okay, let's do the thing. And so we start looking for the stuff that the turtle wants us to find, and we find some good stuff. And Crutchy makes bank, but I don't. And Becca kept the turtle after as a pet. It was kind of cute. Yeah. So we went back to the tavern to get a drink or whatever, and we met this member of the King's Court named Sue Bojangles. The King's Court is basically a religion based on music that attempts to reintroduce the beat into the world. All of the members pick an icon to follow and, like, model their clothing and I don't know if lifestyle, but after. So we're just kind of talking, we're having a good time, and these dudes, this big group of dudes, it's a huge group of dudes, they come up to us and they're like, hey, we're going on an adventure from a TV script, you want to come? And basically what that has to do with is there's a church in Dystopia Rising called the Church of the Telling Visions, and basically what that is, so they basically try to find the secrets to life and how to like make the apocalypse bearable in the signal that comes from oracle boxes, which is TVs. And we were like, sure, we want to go on an adventure, and they were like, great, we're gonna go on board this ship with this guy named Smee. And so this guy named Smee leads us on board his ship. Before we went, Sue, Crutchy, and I sang an epic 3-part harmony rendition of Drunken Sailor, and it's still a beautiful, beautiful thing that happened. Anyway, we get on the ship, and that's about where I lose the plot. Oh boy. You can probably ask somebody who was at like the front of the line what exactly was going on. All I know is there was a Smee and there was a Captain Hook and they were trying to find a pan or something like that, and we were lost boys, or it was a thing, I don't know. The next thing I know is that there's grenades on the ground and like everybody's dropping like flies and the damage is piling up, and I'm just like, crap, what do I do? Like I don't have any weapons, all I can do is drag people to healers. And then Crutchy goes down. Now let me tell you folks something, Cassie has seen people die before. She has never seen anyone that she really knows or really likes die. So, the panic is setting in. I drag Crutchy over to Jack to get him, like, healed, and, like, Jack's already dealing with a mangled limb, but this guy's, like, actively dying, so Jack, like, pauses what he's doing to, like, help, and, Specs sees, he checks to make sure everything's okay, he rushes back into the fray, but I stay to keep Crutchy talking to, like, make sure that death doesn't set in or whatever. And let me tell you something. It was intense. Like, I don't even remember what I said. I remember I asked him about, like, his family and things, and like his favorite memory or whatever, just anything I could say to keep him talking. I don't remember much, I just remember panicking. And he was fine eventually, but it did really scare the crap out of me because 2 people did end up dying, and I think one of them permed. So, yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, we get back, we're all a little shaken up, but everybody's fine. So this guy comes to our cabin and tells us, hey, they're having a meeting of the pilgrims outside cabin 9 in a little bit, and you should all come. And so we go. And while we're waiting for whatever's gonna happen, we meet these 2 dudes from Haven, which I think is the New Jersey chapter. Anyways, these guys' names are Remus and Vito, and they're really fun to talk to. Hi Remus, hi Vito. I already forgot what your names in real life were. And we joke around with them for a bit at the Baywalkers' expense, because they're Yorkers and all that junk. And one of the Baywalker dudes still patches us up afterwards. Quality guy. So eventually this dude comes out and tells us, hey, so the reason you're all here is we're gonna go on patrol around the wall and make sure that Zed don't get in. And we were like, sweet. Except I'm like, okay, I don't know what I can do because I don't have a weapon, but I can keep my eyes open, so I'll do the thing. So we go outside the wall and nothing happens. Wonderful. We all head back to town, and immediately when we get back into town, there's a huge horde of zombies waiting for us. Great! So, I'm doing what I can with no combat skills. Like, I'm searching dudes for cards, I'm, like, dragging people to healers. But anyway, I'm just trying to do things useful, and then all of a sudden I hear, by my voice, 15 body. I have 10 body. So, shaboom, I'm down. And I didn't even do anything. Thanks. I didn't see any of this, but apparently Specs saw me go down and bum rushed the zombie to kill me, and, like, I wish I had seen that. Anyway, somebody gives me a bottle of medicine, puts me up to 2 health points. So the fight ends, everyone survives, we're good. It's all fine. It's okay. So after our NPC shift, it's about 7 in the evening, and I realize, you know what? It's been 3 days. My family's probably at the tavern. So I'm like, come on, guys.
Guys, are we going?
Hold on, I just hit Specs into the thick.
Sorry, I'm excited.
We're excited for you, but the more you wait, the more excitement's gonna build.
Stop! I mean, we can eat while we're walking, right? I'm sorry, I'm just excited.
It's been 3 days.
Yeah, it's been 3 days.
Specs, I need my sword. Why?
Because now she doesn't want to get back up.
Onward.
Hey.
Alright, I guess. Your hat is in his crutches.
Alright, which side you come in from?
What?
Which side did you come in from?
That one?
go Newt.
Hey, Newt.
He's about to go meet Cassie's family because they should be getting into town. You want to come with?
All right. How's your day going? Meh.
Yeah.
Well, you're not dead, right? You
Yeah.
didn't die.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't die.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. It's going okay, I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, shall we? I'm sorry. I'm just really excited. It's been 3 fucking days.
You apologize again. I'm going to tell you to stop apologizing.
Oh no! God forbid you tell me to stop apologizing.
Wait.
Are you okay?
Yeah, you might need that.
Go. You ready to go? You f***ing suppose?
Meet the family.
All right, let's go meet the family.
Let's go feed the mamily.
What?
I don't know how words work.
The dadly, the mamily.
You people are crazy.
Family.
Why do I hang out with you?
Easy, because I ran into you while you were in the tree, and I helped you get here.
That's true.
Cassie?
Yeah?
How do you feel about that?
Feel about f you?
Yeah.
I think it's not very nice, but
Okay.
I love about the
My
one.
question, what's your family look like?
a lot like this. Actually, it's crazy how much Kit looks like Jack. Other than that, they all have kind of the same eyes, blue, different hair though.
Is Kit as much of a jackass?
Oh no, Kit's great. No, Kit's great. I love Kit.
So we should kill Kid on sight.
Oh my god.
I would prefer it if you did not kill any of my family on site, Crutchy.
Prefer. I'm kidding.
Why would you do that?
I'm kidding.
Goodness, you people are crazy.
Eh.
Yeah, murder is illegal in this town.
Oh,
How do
no.
you feel about that?
No, I never thought.
I didn't say I was going to do it, I just said it's preferred not to.
Yes, it is preferred not to. So yeah, Kit's the oldest. He's 25. He's a classic big brother. You know, don't go play in that ditch. You know, come back before bedtime. Stuff like that. That was classy.
That's right.
All right. And then yeah, Aiden's the second oldest. He's 22. Yeah, he's 22. He's real artsy and stuff like that. He's the one that taught me how to sing. And then Miles is 18, and he's a little bitch. We argue all the time. It's like one of those relationships where you're constantly fighting, but you know he loves you. Yeah. And then there's me. At 16 and ready to go the f*** home.
No doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm so excited. I can't wait for you to meet them all.
I can't wait for me to meet him.
They seem like good people.
Yeah, they are.
So we go into the tavern, we grab some water real quick, I go outside, I sit by the fire pit, just kind of where I have a good view of the road so I can see if my family's coming. Twitch comes up to me, he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, not much, I'm just waiting for my family. It's been 3 days, they're gonna be here any minute, you know, fun stuff. And he's like, oh, great, no, I'm sure they'll be here soon, and I can't wait to meet him and all that junk. And I'm like, great, thanks, I appreciate it. And then Crutchy comes up to me with Specs and says, hey, can I talk to you? And I'm like, sure, what's up? Because, like, I mean, I got no clue what's coming, I mean, you know. Crutchy comes up to me and he says he doesn't think I've considered the possibility that my family might not be coming for me. I'm like, okay, so they're a little bit late, like, so what? Like, I mean, 3 days doesn't mean, like, 3 days from right when he said the thing. Like, I mean, they'll be here. No, I'm sure they'll be here. I mean, I'm just denying everything that he's telling me.
No, they'll be here. They're just a little late is all. I mean, it was a big group. It would have taken a while to clean up.
Like, my family will be here and there is nothing in my head that you can say to make me change my mind. And then Specs takes Crutchy aside to talk to him for a bit, and this is what he comes back with.